Hello to anyone watching this. I have a giant soft spot for Just Dance. I love the creativity in each of the routines. I love the passion that the developers and the players have for the series. It's just, there's literally no way you can critique these games, apart from obviously the track list, because everybody has their own taste in music, and I do sometimes feel completely unseen. I think, in general, this is a problem some of the more recent games have had. They've leaned so much towards modern songs, and especially K-pop. Like, I've always preferred the 20th century songs that they put into the game, so to see more K-pop songs than songs released before the year 2000 is quite distressing. Like, I get that K-pop is one of the biggest genres of music right now, so it's kind of unavoidable that there'd be multiple songs in each game, but I just feel like they're avoiding a potentially bigger audience by focusing on primarily teenage girls when choosing the song lists each year. So I thought it would be nice if I pretty much just exposed my music taste and listed off a few artists I think would benefit any Just Dance song list they were added to. Obviously, I don't know anything about copyright, apart from that I shouldn't put any of their songs in this video, so I have no idea if there will be any actual struggle to get these artists represented in Just Dance. This is all just the things that I'd like to see, rather than what should and could be added. There is something else extremely important that I need to preface, just as sort of warning before I get into anything else. I am British, so all of these acts are sort of the ones that I've grown up with and I personally am attached to. Obviously, it won't be the case for pretty much anywhere else in the world, but I feel like that's also another good reason why they should be represented, because I feel like that's part of what Just Dance is. It's about songs from all over the world that the whole world can enjoy, so I think chucking these in will help the appeal of Just Dance even more, really. So if any of these artists sound good to you from the way I describe them, just go listen to them. I mean, who can it hurt? I mean, that's the sort of joy of music. You can just pick up more songs and favourites as you go. There's no real limit to how much you can enjoy, which is sort of the whole theme of Just Dance. So that's another reason why I wanted to make this, just to add to that sense of discovery with music, you know? Starting with older acts, I'm surprised that Take That has never been included. I mean, they have some of the most quintessential songs of the 90s and the noughties. They represent both of the more campy and modest eras of boy bands, so I think the fact they've never appeared is sort of odd. Every gay has their queen, and I am so honoured that mine is Sophie Ellis-Bextor. I just think that she has such a unique style of music that's really just joyous. Even when she's talking about murdering people, she just makes me smile. She just has such a great energy about her that could just produce some real, actual girl power that doesn't feel like it's represented properly anymore. And in terms of quirky music, I don't think there's anyone more quirky from the 90s than Stackabo. I think they just bring such a perfect energy to their music that you can dance to it while also just feel calm. It's quite magical, really, so I really think they should get a look into. I'm surprised they hadn't before. Like, you know, the lead singer directed Chernobyl a few years ago. That would have been a great tie-in. As you can tell, I'm not really the best at describing music, but I'm going to press on and talk about a few acts that have gotten a couple songs in the series but really just deserve more representation. Starting with the Spice Girls, the most iconic UK girl band of all time, has had 2 songs in the first 2 games and nothing else, so I really think that needs to be rectified at some point soon. Next is Kylie Minogue, who I'm a bit more hopeful for, considering that she only had a song in last year's game, but the one before that was in the first ever game, so she definitely needs more representation, considering she's been a part of 5 separate decades of music, and the fact that we've only had 2 of them represented is just an absolute crime. I'm not going to talk much about the routines for each artist in this video, but I do think that we absolutely need an official choreo routine for Padam Padam, if nothing else. And lastly is Girls Aloud, who I'm pretty sure only had their cover of Jump in Just Dance 3, because I'm So Excited was already a Pointer Sisters song in the game, so they just thought, oh, here's a different version of it. But Girls Aloud have so many great original songs that just represent girl power in such a genuine way. And there are so many different routines I can think for them, like the show could be in an airport, You could have Love Machine, you could have a regular version for girlies dancing, and then you can have an alternate version with a load of different male dancers from the series on the dance floor, like in the music video. Or obviously something kind of that could have a sat-down dancing quartet version for the first time in the series. There's just so many ideas you can take from their music videos that apply perfectly to Just Dance. They are made for this series, and the fact they've never been represented is an utter travesty. In terms of newer artists I'd like to see, first is Victoria Monet. I think she's an absolute angel. She just has perfect vibe music. Just in terms of Just Dance, just lower difficulty, single female coaches, the best kind of songs really. And I just think she deserves the world, especially after being wrongfully slandered for that new Meme Pack for You debacle. I'm really surprised that George Ezra's never turned up, because he has just a sort of perfect flowery music for a summer playlist. I mean, for like several years in a row he's had the perfect music, but he's just never appeared, so hopefully at some point he can get his chance. And lastly is a more lesser known artist called Anasa. I just think she has the perfect sort of couple song, you know, a boy and a girl dancing with each other. I just think we need more of that energy in Just Dance, and I think she has the perfect music for it, even if it's more obscure. So yeah, I don't want to make this video entirely just exposing my music taste. I also want to sort of give an idea of something that I would like to see in the future of Just Dance, because obviously next year is another anniversary game. It's the 15th anniversary game. I think there's something they could do to really take advantage of that and play into the previous games. Very much inspired by Toxic last year, appearing with multiple new routines. I think they could just do an entire game of that. Just call it like the All-Star Edition. It doesn't necessarily have to be songs from like Just Dance 1 and 2 that are very stilted compared to today. I think it just needs to be songs that they have more ideas for that they never got around to doing. Like, I think they should cap it at 3 routines per song, including their originals. But just songs like Shape of You that was clearly shoved in at the last minute, or the various beta routines from 2017, I think you could chuck them all into just one game. Like, I just feel like there's infinite possibilities for routines with any song, so I just hope they can take advantage of that in some way with a sort of All-Star Edition. It's not something that they necessarily need to do, and I mean, leakers have probably found all the songs coming up until Just Dance 2027, so it's probably completely irrelevant, but I just think it'd be a really cute idea just to go back and give a second chance to loads of the songs from the series. And they can obviously just keep piling on new songs into Just Dance Plus. It's like the best of both worlds with old and new songs. I just think it would be a breath of fresh air in its own way for the series, that they could maybe continue into future games, just have like 2 or 3 songs every single year that are additional routines for older songs. I also think this is a good chance for them to use different covers of songs. Like I mentioned before, they used Girls Aloud version of Jump, but they could maybe use like Jimmy Somerville's version of You Make Me Feel Mighty Real, or Never Can Say Goodbye, just things like that to even more broaden the spectrum of songs that are represented in Just Dance and give each routine its own flavour. But yeah, that's everything I can think of, or at least want to say. There are like several dozen more artists I'd like to see, but this is just sort of a general roundup of what I think I would enjoy seeing the most. I mean, Just Dance feels like it has infinite possibilities in terms of what they could add. It just feels like they don't really take advantage of it a lot of the time. They just stick to modern songs, which is fair enough for a yearly release. I just feel like they could do a better job proportioning what's from the noughties and 90s and what's from today. But yeah, if you have any questions or concerns about anything I've talked today, please let me know. And please tell me I'm not crazy for thinking that Tainted Love was absolutely ruined in Just Dance 24. I mean, a rock cover with female vocals. It's not a travesty. But bye-bye. Have a nice day.